humidity forecast. Right now, 71.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, a good Tuesday morning to you. This steamy start to the week. Bill Hobson here, sitting in for Art Lewis all week long. Glad to have you here for our conversation on WSGW, as we always try to keep you connected to what's happening throughout the Great Lakes Bay region and around the world. And today we have I would say it's a rather varied mix of topics and guests that will join us on the program. We will take you inside the world of foster care, foster youth care here in just a moment. And then in the next hour, we talk about an abrupt change of pace. We will head north, jump on that Shepler's Ferry line, and head over to Mackinac Island to see what life has been like during this really busy summer for tourism. And then, again, an abrupt shift as we introduce you to the keynote speaker who will be coming to Saginaw in just a couple of weeks on behalf of Saginaw County Right to Life. So let's get things started, though, this morning. Learning a bit more about the foster system and a unique way for young people to take control of their own lives as we welcome in Aylin Stamps, the Executive Director of River Jordan Incorporated. Good morning, Aylin.
Hey, how you doing, Rob?
I'm doing well. It's Bill on this end.
Oh, Bill, sorry about that.
Well, that's all right. As long as you don't call me late for dinner, I'm fine with pretty much anything out there. Yeah. So since you and I have not had the chance to meet or chat before, I think it would be helpful and instructive probably for all of us to have you fill us in a bit about what River Jordan Inc. is, where it is, and who it serves.
Oh, okay. So River Jordan provides programs and services, wraparound support services for current and former foster youth. We're located in Bay City on Kiesel Road. And we have three programs that we offer. One is our pre-aging out program, and that's like a peer-to-peer mentorship support services for youth that are navigating through foster care. We try to help them to not sabotage opportunities going through foster care and help them understand relationships and keep those relationships when they leave foster care. Another thing that we do is we have a transitional housing program for young people ages 18 to 21. And this program is designed for people who are aging out of foster care with nowhere to go. I guess it's equivalent to, someone turning 18 and leaving their parents' house. And, they get out there and then they find out that they need to sharpen their life skills a little bit more. Maybe they didn't know as much as what they thought. And they have a place to go. They can come back to mom or dad. Well, foster youth don't really have that to come back to. So we have our transitional housing program for that reason. And we also have a continuum care that is also peer-to-peer support for people who are still struggling and need support long after foster care. And a person can sign up for those services no matter what age they are.
Aylin, I want to take a kind of a reverse trip back to the beginning of a young person's life and have you educate us on what conditions, what events in the life of a child would contribute to them needing foster care. I know that there are a lot of very difficult stories all throughout the Great Lakes Bay region, and foster care is not what anybody would initially desire. We're glad that the safety net is there, but what is it that would lead to a young person needing that care?
Well, foster care is when a caregiver or a parent is not living up to their parental responsibilities. Most of the time, 70% of people that are removed and placed in foster care is due to neglect, and the other 30% is physical abuse. So it's more on the neglect side for me. I was placed in foster care because my mother was an addict at the time, and she was dropping me off at places that, she didn't even know half the people she was dropping me off to. And she would leave me at their homes for, 2 and 3 days at a time. And finally, a CPS case was opened because of the neglect. And later on, they found out there was also abuse. So that's really the reason why the DHS usually tries to find someone like a biological family member that would take the child in. And if they can't find a biological family member, then they are placed into the foster care system and ultimately end up in a foster home or a residential placement.
It's common that someone who is, as an adult, serving others, it's common that they would have at some point experienced the need they're now helping meet. But it's still powerful when you hear those stories. And so when I hear you say that you came through that system, I would have to think that there were a couple of ways you could have gone. One would be, I don't ever want anything to do with the foster care system again and in the rest of my life. I came through it. I'm done with it. What led you to go the other direction, to decide you wanted to pour your life into helping others?
Well, the pouring my life into helping others didn't come until much later on. I didn't take advantage of the opportunities that was presented to me going through foster care, and I sabotaged a lot of good relationships with foster parents and mentors and people that really cared about me. So I aged out into homelessness. I was an angry kid. I was hurt. I did not value mental health at all. I just wanted to be done, kind of like what you said. And I left foster care homeless, and I ended up on drugs and committing petty crimes. And ultimately that landed me in prison. And I did 5 years in prison, and I got out, and I still struggle with addiction. And finally, I came to a place where, I needed to make a change. I needed to address those issues that I tucked under the rug and didn't take care of. So I just sought out recovery and my relationship with God. And that ultimately led me to open up a program for people that have experienced what I experienced and give them the services that I didn't take advantage of when I was going through foster care.
Isn't it amazing how we, as we get older, realize how foolish we were when we were younger?
Yeah, you're right about that, Bill.
Oh, man. Okay, so as you look back on those younger days, you now are equipped with some firsthand real-life experience to be able to share with young people that are probably acting like you were. Is that fair to say?
Right. That's very fair to say. And that's what this thing is all about, Bill, is, I look back on my life and I say, if I would have took advantage of this opportunity or that opportunity, or if I wouldn't have sabotaged that relationship, or if I would have kept these people in my life, I would be in a much better place. And so that's what this is all about, to help these young people not do the things that I did, and not wake up at 40 years old and realize that they need to change after they've sabotaged all kinds of opportunities. So that's what this whole thing is about.
What was, as you look back on it, you mentioned that you had spent some time behind bars and really struggled with a lot of things. If you had to pinpoint what would be the darkest moment, maybe the one that got your attention, maybe it was all right, if I don't change right now, I'm not even going to live very long. Do you remember a specific moment where you'd say this is rock bottom?
Absolutely. Well, I got to be honest. I had a few rock bottoms, but the biggest rock bottom for me is when I didn't see any value in living anymore. That was the biggest rock bottom for me, and that scared me. It was me. My back was against the wall. I didn't know how to come out of it. everything that I tried to do to cover up the hurt and the pain of the trauma of abuse, past abuse, neglect, everything that I tried to use to cover those things up was not working. And so I was just left with myself, and I said, hey, it's either I'm going to really hurt myself here to the point of death, or I'm going to get some help. And that's what I did. I ended up getting some help. I ended up coming to a place of recovery and surrender, surrendering all of the anger, all of the guilt, all of the shame, just surrendering that and being able to take suggestions from other people, revisiting past trauma and dealing with it, going through the steps to deal with it and not taking shortcuts. And that's why I'm here where I am now.
What age did that light bulb click on for you?
39 years old.
That's when you pulled out of the spiral? That's
when I pulled out of the spiral. Now, there was times in there where, I went into recovery and, or I sought out a close relationship with God or, and stuff like that. But there was always those relapses. There was nothing that really stuck with me until that rock bottom that, we're talking about.
Well, I'm glad you pulled out of it. Now you have a great story to tell, and you have the opportunity to help other young people. We'll continue the conversation as we learn more about River Jordan Inc., empowering foster youth to take control of their lives. I'm Bill Hobson, sitting in for Art Lewis. We'll continue our conversation with Aylin Stamps here on WSGW after this.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Blossom Spa and Boutique. You can get a spa facial for only $35. It's normally $70. You are getting it half off. You can also get body contouring treatments for eliminating cellulite for only $250. It's normally $500. Once again, you are getting it half off. Don't miss out on these deals at Blossom Spa and Boutique. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Best Buy's summer quarter was better than expected. Its online sales slumped down 28%, though that compares with a year ago when shoppers were picking up devices for working and learning at home. The company sees overall sales this year up 9 to 11%. South Korea will prevent Google and Apple from requiring software developers from using their payment systems. The move stops the tech companies from making commissions on in-app purchases there. Tesla shares have been holding up, even though its CEO Elon Musk tweeted the company's latest self-driving software update is not great. Musk did say his artificial intelligence team is rallying to improve it as fast as possible. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Summer's in full swing, and we have the coolest new shirts for the warm weather at Untuckit, including performance shirts that wick sweat, short sleeve styles to beat the heat, and our comfortable polos. Untuckit shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they're just the thing to look and feel cool in the summer heat. And Untuckit shirts are perfect as we transition back to the things that we've been missing, like dinner with friends, reuniting with family, and vacations too. When the heat is on, the number one shirt to keep you cool is Untuckit. Use code COOL for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com or over 80 Untuckit stores.
A message brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Protect yourself from the COVID variants by getting fully vaccinated. Discover the facts at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and the chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Base hit into left field. This will get a run home. Bobby Grossman around third. Cameron on his way to sec. 2 out, double. And the Tigers take a 4-3 lead in the 11th.
The Tigers play 7:20 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
We continue on this warm and muggy Tuesday here on the Art Lewis Show. I'm Bill Hobson, sitting in for Art. And by the way, if you enjoy a visual version of radio, we are streaming live right now on WSGW's Facebook page, the YouTube account, Periscope, Twitch. If you want to watch radio, here I am. Hello, everybody. I'm looking into the camera for those of you who are watching. Glad to have you with us, especially for this conversation, as we learn more about River Jordan, Inc. And the executive director is Aylin Stamps. And Aylin, before the break, you were telling me that one of your regrets as you look back was missing out on some of those support opportunities that are provided through the foster care system. And I think that's a good jumping off point for us to learn what some of those opportunities are for young people. You know, what did you miss out on, and what do we want young people to take advantage of today?
Well, there's a couple programs that come to mind. The most common ones here in Michigan is the Young Adult Voluntary Foster Care program, and that's for young people who have aged out of foster care who voluntarily come back into the system, not to get a placement, but to receive some of the benefits. Like stipends of $600 a month and other supports. And then we have the Youth in Transition program that's also a Michigan-based program that helps out with cars, it helps out with laptop computers, education, tuition, things that you need for your vocational classes. They pay for some vocational classes. So there's a lot of things that there's a lot of programs out there that are offered to foster youth. When I was coming up in foster care, some of those programs were in place, but not as much as they are today. I know that I missed out on education opportunities and tuition. Back then, they were offering free tuition for up to a bachelor's degree at whatever college or university. And I didn't take advantage of those programs. And it was a lot to do with me being an angry kid and me not seeing myself as good enough or smart enough or, you know, all those things that I thought about myself. And 3%, with all those programs that I just mentioned, Bill, 3% of youth that age out of foster care will go on to receive post-secondary education. 3%.
And is that largely? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Aylin. Is that largely because they lack self-confidence?
It's largely because they lack self-confidence. They haven't done any mental health self-care. They haven't taken care of some of that trauma. They haven't worked through it.
Well, there's so many layers of it. I mean, it's not something that you're going to take care of by, reading one book and thinking that you're good. It's going to require professional help and input because of, and I want everybody listening to grasp this, the events, the conditions that lead to a young person needing foster care aren't instantly cured when they enter foster care, right? This is an emergency situation, but it doesn't mean that the scarring, sometimes literal, sometimes emotional, sometimes metaphorical, that the scarring is still there for a long time.
Absolutely, Bill. And, that's why we say here at River Jordan that mental health self-care and the recovery process from the trauma of abuse and neglect is most likely a lifelong process. I know it is for me. There's daily things that I do for my recovery, both, also on a spiritual level too. There are daily things that I do that I have to do, and a lot of times there's this, I just want to make it clear too, that when you go into foster care, a lot of the mental health services are mandated for you, like it's mandatory that you take your medications or that you go see a therapist, oftentimes even when you don't want to. So by the time you leave foster care, you already have a bad picture of what mental health self-care is. So we spend a lot of time here with River Jordan normalizing the mental health self-care and empowering them to make those mental health self-care decisions on their own. But like you said, it's not something that you read a book or you go to therapy one time. This is a lifelong process, and that's why we need that peer support. That's why we offer it. And peer support is people who have been through foster care before and have gotten out and have been through a lot of the things that people that are going through foster care have been through, and they're able to mentor them through that recovery process.
Do you have any feel for how many River Jordans there are throughout the country? How big is this need for foster care?
Well, we are the only ones that provide these programs and services all inclusive in the state of Michigan. I don't know about other states, but I know that we're the only ones in the state of Michigan that offer the all-inclusive supports that we offer.
I had the privilege a bunch of years ago when I was working on the staff at Carriagetown Ministries, the homeless shelter in Flint. I had the privilege of getting to know and working alongside a very dear couple, Reverend Homer Bassett and his wife Pat. And away from what they did on behalf of the homeless, in their own home, they, over the course of a lot of years, had fostered, I believe the number was 39 kids.
Wow.
And they have hearts of gold, and every one of those kids was so hard for them to let go when they were ready to be placed somewhere, but that's kind of the nature of the foster home commitment. But I want to kind of turn our conversation towards those who are opening their homes to foster kids and how important that role is, because there may very well, Aylin, be somebody in our audience today who says, man, I have a soft spot in my heart and I have a room in my home that would be a really good fit. So let's talk a bit about the other end of this, those who are bringing in foster kids. What should they be looking for? What questions should they be asking?
Well, they should be asking if they're going to foster. I would strongly suggest that they call River Jordan. You can call us here at our office. I would be glad to walk you through anything and be of any kind of support that I can be for you. So there's a lot of questions that you should ask DHS when you are considering fostering, and the main thing is transparency about the individual that you are considering fostering. I want to put this out there too, that only about 5% of teens that come through foster care ever get placed in a foster home, because there's the stigma that teen foster youth are bad, teen foster youth are this, teen foster youth are that. And it's a lot of negative stigma associated with teen fosters. And I just want to encourage people to dig deeper in your hearts when you're thinking about fostering, because removals take place all the way up until the age of 18. And, what's left is someone just for example, someone 16 years old being placed in an institution that doesn't belong there because there's no placements for teens. So I just, I really needed to put that out there. I didn't mean to get off track on that, Bill, but I really needed to put that out there.
I don't think there is such a thing as off track when we're trying to cover all the bases about this complicated subject, because the goal in the end is to care for these young people. That's the goal in the end. Every time I see scenes in some of our big cities around the country of the rioting and the looting and the thing, all I can think of to myself is, where's mom and dad in this? And quite often the answer is nowhere. And so I think all of this has practical implications, spiritual implications, certainly community-wide implications. And we'll continue our conversation here. Very interesting one with Aylin Stamps, the director of River Jordan Inc. here on WSGW. I'm Bill Hobson, sitting in for Art Lewis. Back after this.
General RV in Birch Run is your premier RV partner and the destination for RV shoppers. We carry over 100 top brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes at our super centers, and new RVs are arriving daily. Our experts can help with all your needs, from sales and financing to parts and service. Plus, we'll get you on the road with confidence. Shop our growing selection of family-friendly travel trailers, spacious fifth wheels, and luxury motorhomes to begin your RV adventure now at General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology. Elite genetics, triple herbicide tolerance, flexibility that delivers results, backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. XtendiMax is a restricted-use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state.
Anyone can sell you soybean seed. Channel Seedsmen place products to perform. With Channel Extend Flex soybeans and Channel Roundup Ready 2 Extend soybeans, you'll get the excellent weed control you want and the high yield potential you need. Make the most of next season with the Roundup Ready Extend crop system and expert recommendations from Channel Seedsmen. Ask a seedsman in your area for recommendations for your fields. Check with your state pesticide regulatory agency for specific restrictions in your state. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
We continue here on the Art Lewis Show. I'm Bill Hobson, sitting in for Art Lewis all week long, and Having a great conversation with Aylin Stamps, the executive director of River Jordan Inc., talking about foster youth. And following up, Aylin, on the conversation about hosting or opening one's home to a foster youth, it might be important and encouraging to point out what sort of support is provided to those families so that they're not just saying, hey, welcome in, and the end. We don't know. What do we do now?
Right. So I just wanted to throw on a quick side note here that when you're considering fostering, please understand that the number one goal of foster care is reunification with the biological parents or the caregiver. Okay, that really needs to be understood, because when people foster, you will definitely get attached to who you're fostering, or fall in love with your foster and all those things like that, and create, really close relationships. But the number one goal is reunification, and we want the biological parents to be helped. We want them to recover from substance abuse disorder. We want them to get their mental health self-care taken care of. We want to bring families together. So I just needed to point that out. But as far as resources go, in our area, there's Foster Families Navigation and Resource Center. You can go to fosterfamiliesnrc.org, and that is a platform that it's like a hub where all of the community resources come together and put whatever resources they have on their website. And you can also come to River Jordan. We're located on Keezer Road in Bay City, or you can give us a call. We'd be glad to help you. We offer trainings for foster families and foster parents. We offer support. What we want to do, when a foster youth comes into foster care, they get a caseworker, they get a foster care worker, and then they get a peer support person from River Jordan or another agency that trains their foster care alumni to become peer support specialists. We want to be involved with that youth all the way through their whole foster care experience and after they leave. So those are some of the resources. We offer them free. So you can call us anytime between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday. We'll be glad to help you.
So good to hear that there is a support system in place. I'm wondering, Aylin, what the need looks like today versus at the beginning of COVID. We hear reports about domestic violence increasing. We hear reports, of course, of economic pressures because of job loss, perhaps, and those kind of things. And I don't know if that's contributed to an increase in the need for foster homes and foster care. What have you seen happen?
There's a huge need for foster families, a huge need. And I think a lot of people are scared to foster, because of what they hear, some of the stories that they hear. But I would encourage people to reach out and try to understand the other side, that all families and all situations are not bad. But that's our main problem right now, is the lack of foster parents, especially in our area.
When there aren't foster homes, what happens to the young people? Are they staying on property with River Jordan? I don't know if you have residential housing.
We don't have traditional residential housing. Actually, residential housing, they are scaling back DHS because there was problems in those residentials that made DHS look at the whole system again. And so residential facilities are closing. But what's happening is these young people some of them are being sent to juvenile centers, places that they absolutely do not belong, just because there's no bed space.
Mm-hmm.
There's no foster families.
Okay, so that begs a couple of questions. One, first of all, let me share some good news. Our friends at Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, which is the Rescue Mission in Saginaw and Good Samaritan Rescue Mission in Bay City, just a few months ago opened up the Samaritan Youth Shelter, where there have been some young people coming in who otherwise would just be on the streets. So that's good news. I think they have 10 beds in there, maybe 12 for boys and girls. And so there's one answer, one piece to the puzzle. But my question for you, Ayland, is how are the churches doing with this subject? Because this is a community need, and certainly these are young people in need of love and the message of the gospel, and just to have somebody say, you matter to God, you matter to us. So how are the churches doing in helping with this need that River Jordan is experiencing?
I'm not sure about the church as a whole. I know churches do give to different organizations for different reasons. There's a couple churches in our area that's been helpful to us, and that's Hope Valley Church and Great Lakes Dream Center. They've been really helpful to us. There's the Messiah Church here also that's been helpful to us. So there's some churches that have been helpful to River Jordan. I'm just not sure about church as a whole.
And how does River Jordan receive its funding? How are your doors open?
Our doors are open is community funding, fundraisers, grassroots fundraisers, generous people, people that sponsor. We're totally at the mercy, I guess I would say, of the people. So it's good people that donate, money here and there to keep our doors open. Our housing, we have two houses. We have a men's house and a women's house, and it costs $12,500 a year to run each house. But it costs $35,000 a year to house an inmate in our Michigan prison system.
Right.
And 60% of youth that age out of foster care will either commit suicide, be incarcerated, or experience drug addiction, or will be involved in sex trafficking.
Well, there is zero debate about the efficiency of caring for a young person now versus having to care for them for the rest of their lives. There's from an economic, from a societal standpoint, there's no debate whatsoever. So we're going to take one more break. When we come back, Ayland, we're going to put out the plea to our audience. This is a very generous audience, and hopefully somebody out there will respond and step up to help River Jordan Inc. We'll have that conversation as we continue on the Art Lewis Show. I'm Bill Hobson, sitting in for Art here on WSGW.
Art Lewis here for Thalen Honda. As you probably know, many car dealers are advertising, buy now, take delivery when it comes in. I say, why wait? But Thalen Honda has a supply of new vehicles ready for delivery right now during Honda's summer sales event. That's right, buy today and drive it today. And to sweeten the pot, there's 0% financing on select 2021 and 2022 models. Terms and conditions apply. In addition, the 2021 Honda CR-V Passport and Odyssey were named Best Car for the Money by U.S. News & World Report, and 6 2021 Honda models received the IIHS Top Safety Rating. Thalen Honda has new and used vehicles in stock and ready for sale, with more new vehicles arriving every week. Stop into Thalen Honda, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City to look over their inventory, or go online to thinkthalen.com. Test drive the vehicle of your choice, then sit down with a Thalen Honda representative to see how easy it is to make it yours without the wait. The Thalen family in their third generation of ownership, serving your automotive needs for 44 years.
Have you heard about all the benefits of joining DCECU? The great rates, the member give back. Membership sounds amazing. Too bad you're not eligible, right? Wrong. It's easier than ever to join.
I thought only immediate family of DCECU members could get in, but I was wrong. My Uncle Earl is a member, so now I can be a member too.
I'm eligible through my support for community organizations. I didn't even know that was possible.
I didn't realize that employees of nearly 100 companies can join DCECU. I was able to become a member because I work for one of them.
If you're not a member, you can be. Find out how at dcecu.org/join. Membership eligibility required. While member giveback rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member giveback consideration. Some limitations apply. Insured by NCUA.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here to give you the killer deals that you need. You can get tons of deals going on right now from Fat Matt's Barbecue, Joyce's Purple Palette, Kitchen Kings, Cafe 13, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, the Pine River Golf Course, Beer Garden, the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon, and the Bay Regional Fencing Alliance. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Here we go. A warning about super COVID.
Are you serious?
Yes. Will we have to be injected with kryptonite?
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
As we wind down this 9 o'clock hour, talking with Aylin Stamps, the executive director of River Jordan, Inc. Aylin, you were sharing before the break the, I think, remarkably efficient cost of running the organization. I think you said there was $12,000 per year for each of the two houses that you have. That's a smaller number than I was going to guess. What would be the total organizational budget for a fiscal year?
Total organizational budget is $123,000 a year.
Okay. And how are you doing? I mean, let's just have a brass tacks conversation here. I do fundraising for a living. How are you doing? Are you hitting your numbers?
We are not hitting our numbers. This COVID thing has been really hard on us, and I'm sure for most nonprofits, people really like to get together and come together as a group and just kind of have activities and stuff like that and be in person, but we haven't been able to do that for the last 2 years. So we are struggling as an organization. So yeah, just putting that out there.
What happens when you don't hit your budget numbers? How does that impact services?
Well, it definitely puts a strain on services. We're operating in the red right now. And haven't come to a place where we have to close our doors on transitional housing, but that's not too far in our future if we don't raise the funds that we need to raise to at least run our transitional housing program. And two houses combined together is $25,000, and that's 5 beds. For each house. It takes care of the utilities and everything else. So we don't provide food. The food is actually something that the young people provide. They're grown. They get assistance or they're working or something like that. We just provide that safety net, a roof over their head, a warm shelter, and 24-hour support.
All right, folks, I know this because of all the years that we have the Radiothon in December to benefit Rescue Ministries. I know this. Throughout the Great Lakes Bay region, you are generous people. Even in times where everybody's hurting, you are generous people. My guess is that you didn't even know River Jordan was a thing, and you certainly didn't know it had a need. So maybe this last hour of conversation with Ayland has opened your eyes up to a need in our community. And Ayland, for those whose hearts have been touched and they do want to make a difference, they do want to invest. Maybe it's in honor of a grandchild who's doing great. Maybe they want to reach out to somebody else, or perhaps they just have a heart for the future leaders of our community who right now are in a difficult position. How can people give? What's the best route to do that?
Well, you can. There's a few ways you can do that. You can send a check to River Jordan Inc. 3442 Teasel Road, Bay City, Michigan 48706. You can also give online at riverjordan.org, or you can make a pledge. You can pledge monthly. You can set that up right online to pledge monthly if you want to give in that way.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do, folks, and we're getting a little tight on time here, Ayland, but what we're going to do is we're going to send you all to riverjordan.org to begin doing your homework and consider supporting this excellent service to our community, this ministry, this outreach to young people. It's so important. And Ayland, I am so glad we've had some time to get to know each other. I will be in touch, and we're gonna talk a little bit more off air, because this is too important for us just to let slide by. So thank you for opening our eyes to River Jordan.
You're welcome, Bill.
All right, we will take a break here to wrap up the 9 o'clock hour. Back after this on WSGW.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
and Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of My Pillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special, or call 800-635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Well, we round down the 9 o'clock hour here on the Art Lewis Show. So thankful for the opportunity to get to know Ayland Stamps, and I do hope you'll do something to help River Jordan Inc. When we come back in the 10 o'clock hour, we have an abrupt change of topics. We're going to head up to Mackinac Island and talk about a record-setting busy summer on that special place. And we will also introduce you to the keynote speaker at this year's Saginaw County Right to Life dinner. So a busy 10 o'clock hour straight ahead. But first, we catch you up on the news here in the Great Lakes Bay region as well as around the world as we go both to the national and then to the WSGW newsroom.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Do they stay or do they go? Today could be decision day on keeping U.S. troops in Afghanistan past next week's pullout deadline. CBS White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more.
The military has asked for an answer by today because it would take time for the 6,000 troops now at the Kabul airport to leave. The White House stresses that the speed of evacuations has increased significantly, and President Biden has said it's his objective to have the mission completed in advance of the August 31st deadline. CBS News confirms CIA Director Bill Burns met yesterday with the de facto leader of the Taliban.
And the Taliban leadership has just repeated its position that staying past the deadline would be crossing a red line. The American people have been opening their hearts and their wallets to those Afghans who do make it out. WJZ-TV's Annie Rose Ramos is in Maryland.
Donations pouring into Dar al-Taqwa Mosque in Ellicott City.
The response was amazing, and this is not only the Muslim community, this is the community at large.
Peanut butter, diapers, and pillows.
U.S. and allied forces have airlifted out nearly 64,000 U.S. and Afghan civilians since July. Coronavirus. Will the FDA's full approval of Pfizer's COVID vaccine help America turn the corner on COVID?
It's really how many people get vaccinated, how many people step up and say, you know, we've had enough of this. We've got to put an end to this terrible outbreak.
Dr. Anthony Fauci telling CBS this morning the worst could be over by next spring if enough Americans get that jab. In the meantime, though, Hawaii's governor is warning tourists to avoid his state because the rising COVID rate means they won't get the welcome they were expecting.
Restaurant capacity has been restricted. There is limited access to rent-a-cars.
From COVID to the Capitol, did members of Congress collude in the storming of the Capitol building January 6th?
The committee is reaching out to telecom and social media companies, requesting hundreds of phone calls, text messages, and emails. Representative Benny Thompson, who chairs the committee, says that does include some members of Congress.
We have quite an exhaustive list. I won't tell you who they are, but it's several hundred people.
They hope the phone records will help shed light on a series of calls between Republican members of Congress and former President Trump on January the 6th. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Tennessee flooding. This man is searching for the victims still missing.
We need to get them some resolution, get their families back home. So I'm going to hunt all day.
More than 20 dead, as many still missing. They include small children swept from their parents' arms. Stocks. The NASDAQ jumped to a record high on the opening bell. The Dow is up 74 points. The S&P shares up 8 points. This is CBS News.
With Indeed Instant Match, just sponsor a post and immediately receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
We've all experienced it at one time or another. You know, one of those days, weeks, or months where life happens.
You mean like being unexpectedly laid off and trying to figure out how to make ends meet until I find another job?
Yes.
You mean like my emergency fund getting drained due to car repairs?
Exactly. When you need somewhere to turn to us. We're Members First Credit Union. Let us help you with a Life Happens loan. We're offering super low rates and a variety of terms. Get some peace of mind and money to use for all sorts of things. Emergency home repairs, everyday essentials, bills, utilities, and more.
That would be a life changer for me right now. Thanks.
I was worried about getting my roof leak fixed. Wow, that's huge.
Get started and apply now at mfcu.net. Members First Credit Union. When life happens, it's important to have somewhere to turn. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity. Subject to credit approval. Get up to 0.5 percentage point APR off your loan rate based on your relationship with the credit union.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Moorbark is now hiring welders, machine operators, and other skilled positions. No training? No problem. Apply for Moorbark's welder training program and earn while you learn. For more details on this position, other local companies that are hiring, and how to apply, go to MidMichiganWork.com. That's MidMichiganWork.com.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, Take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance blokes filching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 71 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Lynn Williams. 21 years ago, the Saginaw Police Department had 155 officers. Now that number's down to 60. Saginaw Police Chief Bob Ruth says the drop in officers is due to a multitude of reasons, with the largest being funding, beginning before he started in 2014.
It's been 3.5 weeks since my daughter died. The police have not reached out to me. The mayor has not reached.
We'll bring you Chief Ruth in a later newscast, but he said during yesterday's City Council Committee of the Whole meeting that the department took nearly 46,000 911 calls in 2020, but currently only has 48 ready officers in the field, with others in training or injured. He says 3 new hires will be made ahead of a resignation and 3 retirements scheduled for 2022, but says since arrests made 2 weeks ago during a police-involved shooting, the city has kept relatively quiet, reporting only 2 shootings, both of which were self-inflicted. The mother of one of the victims at the July 31st Linwood Avenue party shooting says she still has not been contacted by police. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
It's been 3.5 weeks since my daughter died. The police has not reached out to me. The mayor has not reached out to me regarding my daughter's death. Police want us to work with them, work with us.
That's Tiffany Owens, who says prior to this week's committee of the whole meeting, she had not been contacted by police or any city officials regarding the shooting of her 26-year-old daughter, Tamara Chanel Stewart, who was killed on July 31st at a large party on Linwood Avenue that left several others critically injured or dead. When questioned on the matter, Saginaw Police Chief Bob Ruth says the Victim Services Department has spoken to her within the past week.
We contact everybody. And Tiffany Owens, I remember last week, our Victim Services Unit and the detectives contacted her. Someone contacted us and said there was a miscommunication with her. They didn't have her contact. But once we got her contact, we connected with her.
Owens says her daughter is the second child of hers to die in a Saginaw shooting after a 2012 drive-by killed her 12-year-old son, Tamara Stewart Jr., and adds the miscommunication is unacceptable. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News time is 10:07.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
Call today for free information.
Call 800-217-4380. That's 800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
WSGW News time is 10:08. Starting August 27th, Darren Jerome will become the new Director of Neighborhood Services and Inspections for the City of Saginaw. Jerome will replace the current director, John Stemple, who's retiring August 31st. Jerome began his career with the City of Saginaw in 1997 when he was hired as the Plumbing and Mechanical Inspector. He later served as one of the original Scenic Inspectors. Jerome was promoted to Chief Deputy Inspector in 2015 and served in that role until 2018 when he was promoted to Chief Inspector. As the department director, Jerome will continue to work closely with the Neighborhood Association, Saginaw County, and the police and fire chiefs. The city of Flint is working on installing infrastructure to receive water from a secondary source. The city currently gets its water from the Great Lakes Water Authority, drawn from Lake Huron. However, state and federal law require municipalities to have a backup source, so the city will install a second pipeline, which will also draw from Lake Huron. Officials say after 2 days, water quality tests are good. The pipeline is expected to be finished in about 6 to 8 weeks. After the secondary pipeline is completed, the primary line will be temporarily closed for valve repair and automation work. Anyone concerned about the project and their water quality can receive testing kits at Flint City Hall. A suspect in a fatal triple shooting near Jackson has been arrested. 43-year-old Zachary Scott Borton was taken into custody last night in Grand Rapids. Michigan State Police said its emergency support team assisted local authorities with executing a search warrant at a home. Borton was wanted by Grand Rapids Police on one count of felonious assault and discharging a firearm into a building. He was arrested without incident. Deputies found the bodies of an 80-year-old man and two 70-year-old men in a home in Grass Lake Township on Sunday morning while responding to reports of shots fired. Borton had been staying at the home where the men were found and was believed to have been driving a vehicle belonging to one of the victims. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high around 90 degrees. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy skies, a low near 70. By Wednesday, chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops, high around 89 degrees. Then by Thursday, sunny sky conditions, a high around 85. Friday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy skies. We'll see high around 83 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 74.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome into the 10 o'clock hour of this Tuesday edition of the Art Lewis Show. I'm Bill Hobson, filling in for Art this week as I would say he was away on a tropical island somewhere warm, but one needn't go anywhere tropical to find warmth. It is blazing out there this week. So I have an idea for you that I think our first guest this hour would heartily endorse. If you want to get away to an island, how about one called Mackinac? Would that be good advice, Tim Hygh from the Mackinac Island Tourism team?
Well, Bill, you're always full of great ideas, and I think you've certainly topped your best ideas so far today. And I think it's an excellent idea. It's nice and warm and sunny, and only a few hours away, and just a few hours away from paradise for your listening audience.
I've been told I'm full of a lot of things, good ideas, not usually on the list. So I'll take it. I'll take it and run with it. I've had the chance a number of times this summer to jump on a Shepler ferry boat and head across to Mackinac for different projects that we're working on, and have found it to be as popular a destination as perhaps maybe more so than any time I can recall. Are you seeing record numbers, or I don't know how you decipher what's happening, but it's been packed on the island.
It's been good. We don't have a lot of measuring tools, but the ones that we do have, we're definitely having a very, very good summer. And it's slowed down a little bit this week. So there's still plenty of time to travel, and this is an enjoyable time to do it. I think there was just a little pause perhaps before the Labor Day weekend.
It's been kind of fun to see some of the national programs do their thing, make a visit to Mackinac, whether it's Today or Good Morning America or ESPN for the stone skipping championships and those kind of things. What's it been like for you to see? I kind of see the eyes of the nation directed towards Mackinac Island.
What took them so long? I guess that's the question.
Right. It's not like you're new.
Well, it's funny. You know this better than anybody. Not to get too inside baseball, but media begets more media.
Yeah.
So if you land the Today Show, if you land CBS morning show, if you land Ginger Z and Good Morning America, then other larger media outlets will pay attention, and they do. And so New York Times, Wall Street Journal, all those television programs that I mentioned earlier, the Weather Channel, CNN. We've had a banner summer when it comes to the media. So I'm sure that's attributing to some of the busyness.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. And one of the things that I have taken notice of, even dating back to some conversations we had in person on the island with Mayor Dowd, is that all throughout this bizarre period of our lives known as COVID, there's been a very specific and intentional, concentrated effort on safety for guests up there, and it sure appears to have been working.
Well, it has. We don't know of any known cases that people have taken home from Mackinac Island. We just like the rest of the Upper Peninsula last year in the fall, COVID started to reach its way to our employees, and so that resulted in some places closing down a little bit earlier than possible. But no, I tell you what, for being an isolated island where we have 10 to 15,000 visitors a day coming to our island, it's remarkable that we've been able to sustain our operations as well as we have, and it goes to a huge effort on the part of our local health department and from our local government, from our local hospital, and from a task force made up of all sorts of island representatives that have stayed in close communications to just do the best we can to fight this thing.
One of the things that I try to remind myself of, and our guest is Tim Hygh from Mackinac Island Tourism. One of the things that I try to remind myself of, and I'm guessing you do as well, is to not take for granted the experience on Mackinac Island. You're there, you work there, I visit there frequently, and I still get that feeling every time I step off the boat and that I'm somewhere special. But I will long remember, I used to say things like I'll never forget, but I really can't tell you what I'll never forget. So I will long remember. I'm starting to forget things I thought I would never forget. I will long remember when I was making my way down Main Street a couple of years ago when we were producing the Mackinac Island podcast series called The Voices of Mackinac Island, which, by the way, you can all hear on the website for Mackinac Island. A family went riding by on bikes. It was mom, dad, and a little girl in the pull-behind little carriage behind their bike. And the little girl said, "I feel like I'm in a movie." And I just remember that moment. I was like, man, Tim Hygh would wish that we had a camera rolling on this little girl right now. That's the feeling, though. It doesn't feel like it's real because it's so different an experience.
It really is. And it's here in Michigan. It's ours. I mean, it belongs to the entire state, and we just let the rest of the country and the rest of the world come and visit. I just can't believe that we have it. And the more I'm able to travel around the country and around the world, the more special it becomes to me knowing what we have to offer compared to most destinations. It's incredible, Bill.
How often do you find yourself when you are traveling having to explain to people, no, really, there are no automobiles. It's horses and it's bicycles, and they're looking at you like perhaps you just landed from another planet. Does that still happen, or is the reputation and the tradition of Mackinac known far and wide now?
Well, it is known far and wide. It's never enough. It's funny. We'll still have people come in with different service companies, or the advertising companies that say, nobody knows about you. Tell that to the 15,000 people downtown right now. And,
right.
And the 4,000 people that spent the night last night. But, I guess, with our website and with all the tools that we have to get the message out, I think more and more people obviously are becoming more familiar with it, but it's still unusual, isn't it? The no cars thing, that was totally done for safety reasons, and it's probably the best marketing decision ever made by anyone in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, Mackinac is not immune to the labor crunch that is experienced pretty much everywhere. I have a feeling that when, let's say, the end of October rolls around and Mackinac really does wind down at that point, the season is sort of officially declared kind of over, even though there are still some places. I have a feeling there are a number of business owners who will be needing first a trip to a spa and then a very long nap, because some have been working. When I say overtime, that's a dramatic understatement, because they haven't been able to find the help that they would normally have. How is all of that playing out on the island right now?
Well, this is the time of year where we feel it the most. This is the week, this week and last week. And when our college students, after having hopefully a great summer experience, go back to school. And so that's when the reality hits that, oh boy, we're getting down to the short strokes. It's been a tough year this year. It's remarkable, the service quality that the island's been able to maintain. But not every place has been open yet this year, either for different periods of time, for whether it's the Gatehouse, a Grand Hotel property that is now serving drinks only and not food. So that takes away a food option for people visiting the island. So, and then like the Ice House behind the Island House restaurant has down to, I think, 2 or 3 servers. So now they're on a limited menu. So we have more people coming to the island, a couple things that, a couple places that weren't able to stay at full service. So that just puts a lot of pressure on people. And so I do know people that have worked 70, 80, 90 hours a week, a lot of weeks this summer without days off, obviously. And it is going to be, it's a long answer, Bill, but we're not immune to what everyone else has had this year as far as labor shortage. And then we got kind of double whacked when the H-2B program did not treat the island as well as it has in the past either. And that's our workers coming in from other countries that work seasonally on Mackinac, and then usually either go back home or to another seasonal job.
There are a lot of behind-the-scenes layers to life on Mackinac, that's for sure, and that visa program is one of them. And you can tell there's been a disruption in the force, I think, is the quote from the movie. And thankfully, though, the experience is still very popular and really, really good. I was asking someone who hosts events on the island, who was a little frustrated with some of those very issues that you were describing. I was asking him, but if I had never been to the island before, would it still be magical to me? And he said, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's for the longtime veterans that they see the little things that are maybe just a tad bit different this year. But if you've not been to the island and somehow you're listening to me throughout the Great Lakes Bay region, as Tim said at the beginning of our conversation, I don't know what's taking you so long. It's time to go. And post-Labor Day is a really good time to go.
I think it's the best time. That's when we do our professional photography, because the humidity just kind of seems to go away, and the blues are a little bluer, the greens are a little greener, and it's just September, I think, is the best month to come to Mackinac. And if you're into color, fall color, my goodness, we come up north, and when it's at peak, and we're not going to be quite at peak yet, we peak a little later because we're surrounded by water. And oh my goodness, it just extends that season a little bit longer too in October.
All right, before I let you go, you and I are each going to give our listeners one insider tip that will improve their Mackinac Island experience that they're not going to find on the website or in a brochure. It's like Bill and Tim's personal experience, life hack to improve your Mackinac Island visit. Here's I'll go first, give you a second to think of one. Mine is, if you're heading up from the Great Lakes Bay region, cross the Mackinac Bridge and take the ferries from the St. Ignace side. They are going to be less busy, and the turnaround time on your luggage and all that will be a little bit quicker, and you'll have your choice of seats on the boat because fewer people will go to St. Ignace to do it. So if you're on Shepler, Starline, whatever the case may be, just head up to the St. Ignace side, and I guarantee you it will take a little bit of stress off of your journey because you'll be able to park on site, step right onto the boat, and be on your way. All right, Tim. Tim's insider, Tim Hygh's hack for Mackinac Island.
Well, that was great, by the way. Well done. Can I give 2?
Yes.
All right. Number 1, if you, and most people do, want to go on a narrated carriage tour, get there in the morning because they'll go till 5 or 6 at night, but tend to sell out about mid-afternoon. If you want a private carriage tour, make sure you're ready to sign up at 8 o'clock in the morning because those are selling out even quicker. And then my second one is grab a picnic lunch or a takeout from one of our many restaurants and go up to the fort at the top of the hill, Fort Holmes, and have a picnic lunch from up there.
Nice. And you can see forever from up there.
Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Mackinac Bridge,
yeah,
St. Ignace, Mackinac City, Round Island, Bois Blanc. It's a beautiful spot, isn't it, Billy? Yeah.
Well, you know, with it being 90 with 2,000% humidity down here in the Great Lakes today, I think that there are some people now thinking, yeah, it is time for us to get up there and enjoy the climate on the island. It's its own ecosystem, folks. So if you want to cool down a little bit, you can head up there. And Tim would be happy to have you stop by the office and say, hey, I heard you on the radio. And he's got a face for radio just like me. So it's a good mix.
I would love that.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, my friend. Thanks so much.
Right, Billy. Thank you.
All right. See you later. We will continue here on WSGW. We take our first break. By the way, I'm Bill Hobson sitting in for Art Lewis. And if you want to see radio, you can go on to the WSGW Facebook page or the YouTube page, Periscope, Twitch. Hi, I'm on this camera right now. And if you want to watch radio, here I am. We'll take our first break and come back and with a kind of a considerable change of subjects that I'll explain in a moment. By the way, we are going to check in with Terry Hygh, who is out at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center on Reese Road. It's Bean and Beat Day, and you'll hear from Terry here in the moments ahead.
I want to tell you about a great opportunity for seniors 60 and older. The Saginaw County Commission on Aging is hosting free in-person Tai Chi classes every Monday and Wednesday at the South Colony Senior Center. The South Colony Senior Center is located at 160 Colony Drive, south of Gratiot Road, just west of Center Avenue. Tai Chi is a very gentle stress and anxiety reducer. It helps increase flexibility and balance. So if you're interested in meeting new friends in a fun and friendly social environment and would like to give Tai Chi and all of its health benefits a try, just give the Saginaw County Commission on Aging a call to reserve your space. Classes are now being conducted in person with social distancing requirements. If interested, please call Carol at 989-790-3289 for more information. That number again is 790-3289 for free in-person Tai Chi classes with the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb. All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs. Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, it's Mike from West Side Decorating Center. Not sure where to start on your next home decorating project? Let the professionals at West Side help you. We specialize in paint, flooring, and window treatments, and have 3 interior designers that are ready to assist with your next project. We are a 3rd-generation family-owned business celebrating 55 years serving the Great Lakes Bay region. We can't wait to help you, so give us a call at 793-6182 or visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open higher, though investors are still focused on the Fed's virtual Jackson Hole conference later this week and its strategy for the economy for coming months. The FAA will review complaints from Boeing employees who say they felt pressured by the company to not be transparent with regulators. Boeing says it takes these matters with the utmost seriousness. Best Buy reported a better than expected summer quarter. Walmart's local delivery service, Spark Driver, will now be handling orders from other businesses. The reboot of the delivery service will be called Walmart Go Local. And Starbucks has launched its pumpkin spice latte and fall menu today. It's also added an apple crisp macchiato available hot or cold. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Angie's List is now Angie. Summer is the perfect time to book your next home project. From lawn care to a new patio, Angie makes it simple to connect with pros who can get the job done right. See reviews, upfront pricing, and instantly book hundreds of projects. Plus, when you book and pay through Angie, we'll cover your project up to the full purchase price, plus limited damage protection with our Happiness Guarantee. Check out Angie.com, and for more on the Happiness Guarantee, go to Angie.com/happiness-guarantee.htm. There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listeners square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special.
At CDW, we get that a cyborg assistant won't make your employees more productive from home.
Please, call me Brian. I can vacuum your dog.
That's great. But at CDW, we can design a productivity solution with Lenovo devices that offer fast, reliable connectivity to help your people manage their workloads the right way.
Can I have a human hug?
No. For technology that moves you forward, trust Lenovo and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo client.
Hi, everyone. We're broadcasting today from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center out on Reese Road between Richville and Frankenmuth, where today the Bean and Beat Day is being held. It's been a couple of years since this event has been held, and now that the Research Center is open and functioning, right now the dry bean folks and the sugar beet folks are conducting tours of their plots here at the Research Farm. Registration kicked off at 8 o'clock this morning. The tours began at 9. Basically, what they were talking about were some facts and figures of what folks should be aware of. And then starting at 10:30, there's going to be a division of the tours. So one of them will be a sugar beet focus. The other will be a dry bean focus. If producers would like to check out both, they're going to have that opportunity to do that, as the experts from Michigan State University will be here not only for the rest of the morning, but into the afternoon. Broadcasting again from the Bean and Beat Day at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center. More reports coming up.
All right. Thank you, Terry Henney. Bill Hobson back here in studio, sitting in for Art Lewis on this steamy Tuesday. And we have a considerable change of subjects here coming up in the moments ahead, because in just a couple of weeks, the Saginaw County Right to Life is going to hold its annual fundraising dinner. And every year they do a fantastic job of welcoming in special guest speakers. And this year is no exception to that, as a lady by the name of Victoria Robinson comes in. Now, Victoria and I recorded a fairly lengthy conversation a couple of days ago. I'm going to use the entire thing on the Big Impact podcast, but I wanted you to hear an excerpt so you can get an idea of the message that she'll be bringing. And on the other end of this, I will share with you the information so that you can attend the dinner. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the exercise, is if you're interested in the topic of protecting life, I think Victoria Robinson will be a great encouragement to you. One of the topics, one of the issues nearest and dearest to my heart of all of them, on the long list of things people can argue about, for me, it's the right to life. Here I am sitting here as a 53-year-old man, thankful that 53 years ago, Bill and Mary Hobson adopted me. I really don't know the story beyond that. I don't know how I ended up in a Detroit adoption agency, but I know that I've been blessed with my family for my entire life. And so as I welcome onto the program our featured guest, I do that with a heart of genuine support for the issues of right to life. And I know that reasonable people can differ, but Victoria Robinson and I, we don't differ. We're both on the same side of that coin. She is the Director of External Relations at an organization called Save the Storks. Interesting name. Victoria, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Bill. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you on as you connect with us from the Nashville area. And somewhere in the latter part of September, the 27th to be exact, you'll be the keynote speaker for the Saginaw County Right to Life annual dinner. So I know you're going to tell the story then, but let's give a little taste of it, a little preview now. What is Save the Storks?
Save the Storks is an organization that meets the needs of women that find themselves in a crisis. And the way we do that is we partner with pregnancy resource centers across the country to help them to raise the funds needed to build what we call stork buses. And these stork buses are state-of-the-art mobile medical units that are parked in some cities where the pregnancy centers reside in front of actual abortion clinics, so that they can offer women other options besides abortion. And we have found that 4 out of 5 women who step foot on a stork bus end up choosing life, Bill, because they see their baby on an ultrasound, they hear their baby's heartbeat, and they make that connection that it's not just a blob of tissue, it's actually a real life human breathing baby.
My daughter is a few months along, and so we've been celebrating with her each time those visuals come out. The technology's gotten so much better. You really feel like you've got a 3 and sometimes a 4D image of that child growing inside of mommy's tummy. How has the advent of technology and the improvement in all things ultrasound related helped maybe open the eyes of a young mom who's wondering exactly what's happening inside of her?
Oh my gosh, Bill, I always say that the ultrasound was the greatest thing that ever happened for women in a crisis pregnancy and for the pro-life movement, because it easily proves the case that there is life inside the womb. It's the window to the womb, basically. You can't deny a heartbeat. You can't deny arms and legs. And you can't deny there's life in the womb. So through ultrasound, when women have been convinced otherwise, it's right there, literally in black and white, that they are seeing and visually seeing their baby and moving around, sucking their thumbs, their heart is beating. And it's very hard once they've seen that for the abortion industry to convince them there's nothing there.
And yet that industry still tries to do that. I've never really come to grips with how they make that intellectual leap, because if God forbid a pregnant woman is killed, there are 2 charges of murder filed. And yet you can't have 2 charges of murder if there aren't 2 human beings present. So it's one of those things that's always kind of had me shaking my head. You know, you work in this world, you deal with these issues all the time. How are we doing with issues of life? How are things going on not only a national scale, but perhaps here within my home state of Michigan? What are you seeing on the front lines of this battle?
Well, first I want to address what you're saying about how does the abortion industry convince a woman there's nothing there. You have to understand the mindset first of what a woman who's in a crisis pregnancy is experiencing, what she's facing. She is in the most vulnerable in time of her life when she doesn't know what to do. Maybe she's unmarried, she's a young woman who doesn't want to tell her parents. They don't even know she's been sexually active. So it's easy to manipulate these women when they're in that moment of desperation. So, and it's much easier when they don't allow them to see the ultrasound, or when they don't offer them the ultrasound, to tell them there's nothing there. You don't feel pregnant, do you? Because most of the time these women will go in the first trimester before they are even feeling pregnant. Maybe they don't even have morning sickness yet. So it's easy when they still feel like themselves, besides that positive pregnancy test, to convince them there's nothing there. So how are we doing? Well, we're still aborting close to 3,000 babies a day, Bill, in this country, every single day. So I would say we're not doing as well as we should be.
Wow. You mentioned that there's just an intentional effort to mislead. And in fact, Victoria Robinson wrote a book called They Lied to Us. And that it sort of spells out the details of what you're talking about, correct? It's kind of a behind the scenes look at what women are being told.
It does. And what I did, Bill, was I interviewed women who'd had abortions, including my own stories in the book. And I wanted them to tell me their stories. And the reason I called the book They Lied to Us was because after, and I didn't have the title till I was finished with the book, but the theme with these women who never met each other, never were in the same room with one another, were all giving me the same kinds of stories, just a different scenario, that they felt lied to, they felt manipulated, they weren't told the truth, and coerced into having an abortion. We have to remember that the abortion industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and their number one product is abortion. They feed the public and lie to women and to the public as well, that they are all about women's health and mammograms and pap smears. That is a very minuscule part of what they do, if at all. The majority of abortion clinics like Planned Parenthood don't even offer those things. They offer birth control and they offer abortion. That's their number one product. So think about it. You're not going to tell a woman who is a dollar sign, this could affect you in some way. There's something inside of your womb. You sure you want to do this? That's not what you're going to do, especially when you have quotas, and they do. So the abortion industry is a massive, massive business. And when they say they're about women's health, it's just a farce. If they truly cared about women, they'd tell them the truth about both sides of how an abortion can affect them, and recognize that women are intelligent enough, Bill, to make their own decisions based on the facts, but they don't give those to them.
If you had to put your finger on it, would you say that the abortion industry is driven more by ideology or by profit desire? Or maybe it's a combination of the two, but I don't argue at all that there's a lot of money at stake here, but it seems like the measures to which they will go have even a more, I don't know, another layer of deceptiveness to them that seems to, it would have to be driven by just an ideology, I guess is the kindest word I could put on it. What do you think the equation looks like that motivates those lies?
Well, I think it's 100%, or let's say 99%, because I do think ideology is part of it, but the majority of it is money. They are driven by profit. They fund campaigns with those profits to stay in business. They fund big buildings to stay in business. They fund expanding their business. They fund paying these abortionists and abortion workers a lot of money to keep them there and feeling trapped. I mean, these doctors and nurses and abortion workers, some of them have built massive homes and have yachts that were all bought from the blood of unborn children. So this is a business of greed. It is not a business of caring about women.
Our guest is Victoria. Well, and as we have that conversation with Victoria, you hear just a little bit of it there. And later on this week, I will play the rest of it for you. Know also that part of her story is that she had an abortion many years ago and has dedicated her life to trying to help encourage frightened young women to not do that. And so if you'd like to be if you'd like to be in the room at the Horizon Center on Monday, September 27th, for the Saginaw County Right to Life, tickets are available. You can contact them right now at 989-799-4464. 989-799-4464. If you'd like to be in the room and be part of a very special evening, a celebration of life that happens on the 27th of September. We're giving you plenty of advance notice. And like I said, before this week gets out, I'll share with you some more of the interview I had with Victoria, and would love to have you be a part of that. It's an important cause. It is near to my heart. As I said at the beginning of that conversation, I'm adopted. How could I not possibly be fully in favor of protecting life? We have to take a break here on the Art Lewis Show. When we come back, we'll kind of continue this conversation and share with you some other ideas on how you can get involved in the various things we've talked about this morning. So stick around, more here on WSGW straight ahead.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune in Your Financial Empower Hour every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Nielsen says more than 30 million Americans watch Newsmax. It's the 4th highest rated cable news channel, and it's available on all major cable systems, or find it on smart TVs like Samsung, LG, and more. And it's free on Roku, Xumo, Pluto, Amazon Fire, and TiVo. Or download the Newsmax app on your smartphone. Watch it anytime, anywhere. Forbes described Newsmax as a news powerhouse. Millions of Americans are watching Newsmax. You should too. Tune in today.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice. Be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio, like where this ad plays. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Scott, is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Yes, radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Michigan Wolverines football is back. The Maize and Blue kick off the new season on September 4th against Western Michigan at 11 a.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW. This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back into the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all your residential and commercial realty needs, call Pinnacle Realty at 989-295-3900. Bill Hobson sitting in for Art Lewis this week, and I want to follow up on the excerpt of the interview that you heard with Victoria Robinson. She is the Director of External Relations at Save the Storks, and this is a very cool organization that provides firsthand visuals in like mobile medical centers around the country. So they basically are vans or kind of a trailer setup where a frightened mom can come in and receive counseling and to really learn about what's going on inside of her body, and more than anything, know that she's not alone. And it's a really important way to reach out and demonstrate love and compassion. And it's not screaming at anybody. It's not trying to scare anybody into anything. It's really to serve and to minister. And Victoria will be the keynote speaker at the Right to Life dinner about a month from now, on Monday, September 27. But tickets are available right now through the Saginaw County Right to Life. Their phone number again is 989-799-4464. Okay, we need to get to another break. You will hear from Terry Henney in this break. He is at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center on Reese Road, where they are celebrating Bean and Beet Day. That's part of what you'll hear in the moments ahead on WSGW.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Mastercraft makes great doors inside and out. Check out our great selection of pre-finished doors in stock. You can also design your own door for free using our door designer on Menards.com. All Mastercraft door systems are 11% off. Good through Saturday, August 28th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
I am one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I am living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Broadcasting this morning from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center, the Bean and Beet Day being held out here this morning. A lot of folks in the dry bean industry and the sugar beet industry know how important these crops are to farmers throughout the Thumb and the Saginaw Valley. This particular event, it's been a couple of years since they've held it, but now that the Research Center is open, farmers will have the opportunity to check out things and see how they can maximize their efficiency, how they work to minimize inputs and provide essential nutrients and manage yield-reducing diseases, pests, and weeds. It's all covered this morning and into the afternoon hours here at the Bean and Beet Research Farm, Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center. The folks at ACH Seeds are proud to bring our broadcast to you today. They're very happy with the results of their plots, and folks from ACH Seeds are here to talk to individual producers about improving their sugar beets. But right now, it looks like that sugar beet crop is outstanding. So it's going to be difficult to, my guess is difficult to expand on these beets from this year. But there's always lessons to be learned. And that's those lessons that we're finding out today here at the Research Center for the Dry Bean and Sugar Beet Day. Broadcasting more reports next hour. And of course, our farm program at 11:30.
Thank you, Terry Henney. By the way, folks, how was your sleep last night? Today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and spend 1/3 of your life there, you need quality sleep. Get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured that the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you. Can the box stores do that? Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Or you can visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Well, that's what I call a fast-moving morning here on the Art Lewis Show. We are moving towards the top of the hour news here in just a moment. And we will also, of course, have the Focus program coming to you on the other side of the news. Really appreciate the guests that have joined me today back in the 9 o'clock hour. If you did not hear it, I hope you'll go online and catch the podcast of my conversation with Aylin Stamps, the director of River Jordan, Inc., and a really important conversation that we had about caring for those young people in the foster system. The phrase fall between the cracks is a real phrase, and it can happen, and it does happen. That's one of the reasons that I'm glad that Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan launched the Samaritan Youth Shelter to care for these young people. When adults ignore young people, they do so to their own detriment. They do so to the detriment of the community. When a troubled teen is left unloved and unattended to, the byproduct of that is a disaster. And by the way, if you don't believe me, look up Antifa. Look up scenes from the summer riots, the last couple of summers. Just look up the crime statistics. There are far too many young people who are without adult guidance. And yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame on the parents. I know what you're saying because I am a parent. I know what you're saying because I try to be a responsible citizen. But whether or not we agree with it, it doesn't change the reality of it. And so in the conversation that I had with Aylin Stamps from River Jordan, and online you can get to them at riverjordan.org, he's trying his best to reach out to minister to young people and help them stay off the streets and out of trouble. And more than anything, help them stay alive and realize they have value and a role and a purpose. People without purpose end up hurting other people. I really believe that. And I don't have that copyrighted. I just thought of that on the spot, but I really believe that that's true. People without purpose hurt other people. Because if you truly believe that you have a reason to be around, then it's quite likely that somewhere on that list of reasons will be helping somebody else, or at least not harming someone else. But if you've been left to fend for yourself, if you've come up through a childhood of extreme abuse and neglect, chances are, and you do know the phrase hurt people, we're seeing a lot of that. And so as I encouraged everybody listening back at the 9 o'clock hour, if you have an interest in investing in the future of your own community, it would be worth your time to look into riverjordan.org, and a very dedicated executive director, Aylin Stamps. Excuse me. And then in the last hour, we had some fun talking about Mackinac Island and then giving you a preview of what's coming at the Right to Life dinner. And that dinner is on Saturday, September 27th. Right to Life of Saginaw County is hosting it. By the way, that chapter is one of the most active and productive and successful chapters in the entire state. And here it is right here in our own Great Lakes Bay region. And I do understand, and I'm certainly not going to fix this issue in the next 45 seconds that I have to talk with you. I understand this is a hot button topic. I get it. This is not a surprise to me that the issue of life and the issue of abortion raises some hackles on the part of everybody, either staunchly in favor of protecting life or staunchly in favor of facilitating the taking of life. Whatever side of that you come down on, I know it's a real issue. I know it matters. I know it's a hot button. And in fact, one of the things that Victoria said to me in the conversation, and I'll play the rest of it for you later this week, was that she welcomes conversations with those who see this issue differently because she wants to have that talk. So I hope you'll support the cause and at least look into it. We now take a break for the news here at the top of the hour on WSGW.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. The Taliban's talking tough as the U.S. could look to extend a deadline to get out of Afghanistan. And amid it all, there's word the CIA director met in Kabul with a top Taliban leader. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
We're waiting to hear whether President Biden will extend the withdrawal deadline to continue the evacuations from Kabul airport. But in the meantime, a Taliban spokesman through an interpreter says the group won't support any extension.
We want them to evacuate all foreign nationals by the 31st of August. And we are not in favor of allowing Afghans to leave.
In fact, the Taliban is encouraging the crowds to leave the airport, saying their safety will be guaranteed.
The UN's Michelle Bachelet says there are reports members of the Taliban are not sticking with a claim of moderation.
They include, among others, summary executions of civilians and all the combat members of the Afghan National Security Forces.
Dr. Anthony Fauci tells CBS this morning he hopes the FDA's formal approval of the Pfizer vaccine will boost vaccination rates, and a return to normalcy could come after winter.
Spring of 2022 is just an estimate. It means that if we can get a large majority, overwhelming majority of the people vaccinated.
There's a new federal lawsuit over a South Carolina law that bans school district mask mandates. The new governor of New York sworn in, Democrat Kathy Hochul.
Changing the culture of Albany. That's why I'm looking forward to a fresh collaborative approach. It's how I've always conducted myself. It'll be nothing new for me, but it's something I'm planning on introducing to the state capitol.
We've reported on drought conditions in the West. They're not just a problem there.
There are growing concerns about growing conditions on farms across the upper Midwest. Historic drought and searing heat are stunting crop growth. Ryan Wagner grows corn, soybeans, and wheat on his family farm near the dot on the map called Roslyn in northeast South Dakota.
Just kind of look at the forecast and hope that we can get under a decent rain cloud here and hope for the best. That's about all we can do.
Grain inventories are dwindling worldwide. That will eventually lead to higher food prices and lower farmer incomes. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Climate change expert Frederic Otto says rainfall events like the one that caused massive flooding in Germany and Belgium are 20% more likely to happen because of global warming.
What used to be a 1 in 100-year event that you might have used as a benchmark to prepare your systems has changed and is now more intense.
Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 67 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here to give you the killer deals that you need. You can get tons of deals going on right now from Fat Matt's Barbecue, Joyce's Purple Palette, Kitchen Kings, Cafe 1-3, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, the Pine River Golf Course, Beer Garden, the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon, and the Bay Regional Fencing Alliance. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of My Pillow. Here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listener square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
The line drive, base hit down the left field line. Extra bases for Castro. Daz Cameron will score. Castro to second base. Back-to-back doubles and 2 outs in the 11th inning.
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by Lingle Equipment Company, your local auto owners agents, including Rummel Agency, Mayan Agency,
and Buck Insurance Agency.
All season long, Detroit Tigers baseball is on 790 News Radio WSGW. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
75 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Police Chief Bob Ruth says staffing has been a challenge for the Saginaw Police Department, not just following the pandemic, but for the last 10 years. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
At yesterday's City Council Committee of the Whole meeting, Ruth shared throughout 2020, the department received approximately 46,000 911 calls. He says the department was handling that number of calls with only 48 officers compared to 155 20 years ago.
In 2013, we got a couple of grants and we got it to move upwards with Covenant. We got it to move up to 62. We're at 60 now because we lost the grant for the schools. They're either injured or going to the academy or in a field training program. 3 of them will be out of the field training program within 2 to 4 weeks. That'll put us back up to over 50.
At the time of the committee meeting, Ruth added they're working towards a total of 60 officers, with some currently injured and others in field training or being put through the police academy. He says the department will be adding 3 more officers ahead of a resignation and 3 retirements coming over the course of next year. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
A $2.3 million project bringing nearly 1.5 miles of new transition water main to Frankenmuth has been approved by Saginaw Council. Over the last 25 years, main breaks have caused some residents to rely on water towers while crews made repairs, and the new connection hopes to rectify this. The move aims to help ease the water needs of Frankenmuth and Frankenmuth Township residents while repairs are made to the current main, which has been in place since 1971. DVM Utilities, based in Sterling Heights, has been awarded the project, which will make the new connections near Herzog and Portsmouth roads. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Have you heard about all the benefits of joining DCECU? The great rates, the member give back. Membership sounds amazing. Too bad you're not eligible, right? Wrong. It's easier than ever to join.
I thought only immediate family of DCECU members could get in, but I was wrong. My Uncle Earl is a member, so now I can be a member too.
I'm eligible through my support for community organizations. I didn't even know that was possible.
I didn't realize that employees of nearly 100 companies can join DCECU. I was able to become a member because I work for one of them.
If you're not a member, you can be. Find out how at dcecu.org/join. Membership eligibility required. While member give-back rebates and rewards occur with great regularity, this credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member give-back consideration. Some limitations apply. Insured by NCUA.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. A Genesee County woman is in critical condition at an Ohio hospital following an accident at Cedar Point August 15th. 44-year-old Rachel Hawes of Swartz Creek was hit in the head by a hand-sized piece of metal while waiting in line for the Top Thrill dragster ride. Cedar Point officials and the Ohio Department of Agriculture are investigating. The ride was last fully inspected by the department in May, though officials say all rides are inspected daily. The ride has been closed for the season as the park and state determine the cause of the accident, citing public safety as Cedar Point's top priority. Some kids are already back in school, and within the last couple of weeks, everybody will be back in the classroom. Now, a state education group is calling for a mask mandate. Last week, Michigan's top doctor, Janae Caldoun, recommended that school face masking should be universal across the state, but neither governor nor the health department has issued any mandate. K-12 Alliance of Michigan Executive Director Bob McCann says it can't be about right or left. It has to be about the kids.
Regardless of where anyone may fall on any given issue, we need to take our own personal politics on this and focus on what's best for kids right now and what they need. Because after a year and a half of, for many of them, not being inside of a classroom at all, if we're not all united and thinking we got to do what we can to keep them there, then we're just doing them an absolute disservice.
McCann says educators aren't being given the tools to succeed in keeping kids in the classroom. The U.S. military has pulled off its biggest day of evacuation flights of Afghanistan since the operation began. U.S. Senator Gary Peters serves on the Armed Services Committee and agrees with President Biden that it was time for U.S. troops to leave Afghanistan.
The images that we see from the airport in Kabul are heartbreaking. And then our focus right now has to be sure that U.S. personnel are all evacuated safely out of Kabul, as well as those Afghan nationals who helped us over the last 20 years.
Peters says it's unfortunate that the Afghan army, didn't stand up to the Taliban. He says he will have to help Afghan refugees who come to the U.S., or we will have to help them. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high around 90 degrees. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy skies, a low near 70. By Wednesday, chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops, high around 89 degrees. Then by Thursday, sunny sky conditions, a high around 85. Friday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy skies. We'll see high around 83 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 78.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome into Focus. Bill Hobson here, sitting in for Art Lewis on WSGW. I'll be here all week, and we look forward to conversation with you every morning starting at 9 and extending all the way into this time, which is our Focus program, taking an up-close look at events and people and places and happenings directly in the Great Lakes Bay region. We're happy to welcome onto the program Rochelle Trumbull from the Saginaw Valley Resource Center. It's the Marketplace, and we're going to kind of give you all a feel for what SVRC is all about. And Rachel, we say good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Let me make sure I say this correctly. Rachel or Rochelle?
Rachel.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I think I covered both bases, so I know I'm batting at least 500, but not 1,000.
You're all right. You're good.
A good place for us to start for those who are not familiar with SVRC is to kind of have you give us a bit of an overview of what the Resource Center offers to our community.
So SVRC has been part of the Saginaw community for quite a long time. And what we offer is opportunity for individuals who may have some kind of handicap, the opportunity for jobs. We outsource jobs. We have community living, and we provide, we have a trauma clinic. We have Westland Trauma Clinic. We have an autism clinic. And now we have the Marketplace. So SVRC houses many, many different kinds of smaller businesses underneath the actual SVRC name. So we provide a lot, and we have provided a lot to the Saginaw community.
You mentioned employment and training and things like that. We, of course, are in this unusual time where everybody is looking for people willing to work. Is SVRC part of providing to our workforce?
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan Works is a part of SVRC as well. And with that, we are also looking for individuals too. So we have some job opportunities. If you want to take a look on Indeed, SVRC and the multiple facets that are involved are in need of employees just just the same, along with my small businesses. So if you come inside, a lot of my small businesses are looking for that employee help. So you can always come inside and ask if who's hiring.
Where is the marketplace located?
So our marketplace is located at 203 South Washington, and we are in the historic Saginaw News Building, and we are directly next to the Bancroft and across from Dawn of a New Day and Valerie's downtown. So we are connected with some really great community members right down the road from St. Mary's, Covenant, and just proud to be a part of this little community down here on Riverfront Saginaw.
Yeah, now there are parts of our state that have been super busy this summer with visitors. How has it been at the marketplace? I don't know if you would receive the foot traffic that you're looking for during the summer. What's it like in there?
I'm pretty proud to say that actually, with everything that's gone on with COVID and the restrictions and then kind of the restrictions being uplifted, we didn't know what was going to happen. Our small businesses were able to do, a pull-up type of offering to the community. But when we actually officially opened the doors, got everyone back in, we had the downtown Saginaw Farmers Market join us underneath our pavilion. And the traffic, I'm very thankful, has been pretty good, has been really, really good. We've had a couple pretty good big events at the marketplace, and that's, a lot of work's been put into events, and seeing and having the community come out and embrace those, and then of course supporting that small business. It's been wonderful. So I'm very thankful to say that our traffic has been great, and I just hope it continues.
And if someone were to come down for a shopping experience in the marketplace, what sort of variety will they find?
I'm very proud to say that our market is just full of a different variety of things. So we have global flavors. So we have, if you don't have the opportunity to go and travel and try all of these different unique and exquisite foods, we have a lot of global flavors inside the marketplace. We have Mediterranean, we have Falafel Hut, we have Saigon Sandwich that offers Vietnamese, we have El Farolito that offers Mexican, and we have Divine Taste of Chicago, who offers straight out of Chicago, ordered from Chicago, and Chicago style type hot dogs. And we also have up and coming, we have Creole Queens LLC. She is going to be bringing her Louisiana flavor. She's straight from Louisiana, and she'll be bringing gumbo and all of that goodness to the marketplace. So the global flavors are big. We have retail businesses that offer, we have flowers, we have jewelry, we have make your own jewelry, we have fix your jewelry, we have clothing. We have an individual, Chris made it. She makes these beautiful cups, special ordered cups. We have rocks, we have oils, we have crystals, all of these different variety of things that just make the marketplace a one-stop shopping experience.
It sounds like an international marketplace. And by the way, when I was told that you and I would be speaking today, nobody told me that I would be suddenly hungry as you described this marketplace.
Well, good. Then I did my job. Hopefully everyone else will be too.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk hours of operation.
We are open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are an all year round marketplace. Our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market is outside underneath our pavilion, and they are open Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Very cool. Well, hold on just for a second, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into the personal benefits that those that SVRC is helping, those with disabilities, and going through training and rehabilitation. We can dig into that a bit so that everybody can get a good understanding of how this whole effort is truly making a difference in the lives of people in our community. We'll have that conversation as we continue here on Focus on WSGW.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Want to know how to nail down more construction jobs and give yourself a concrete advantage in a competitive industry? Become a certified lead abatement professional. Learn how to remediate lead safely and help Michigan families get lead out of their homes. Here's the drill. If you work in construction, you're eligible for the training. whether you're a painter, plumber, carpenter, electrician, or other tradesperson. With just 3 days of training, you can become a certified lead abatement worker. With 4 days of training, you can become a certified lead abatement supervisor. So give yourself a competitive edge while you help Michigan families live healthier lives. Learn more about lead abatement training at michigan.gov/lead workforce. That's michigan.gov/lead workforce. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
News coverage.
Takeover by the Taliban of Afghanistan.
Kabul looks like a zombie movie.
I know my decision will be criticized.
Joe Biden is responsible for this.
Our newspaper op-ed pages, our TV screens are filled with people who got it wrong and still trying to lecture the rest of us about what should happen now in Afghanistan.
News.
I think COVID is definitely here to stay. Yearly COVID booster shots.
If you're not scared of COVID, you need to be scared of your hospital system collapsing.
Getting vaccinated is a good choice.
News coverage.
500! Miguel Cabrera
On WSGW. Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And this is the Focus program. Bill Hobson here sitting in for Art Lewis all week long. And on Focus, we celebrate things happening in the Great Lakes Bay region. Rachel Trumbull from the Saginaw Valley Resource Center is talking Marketplace with us. And Rachel, as you welcome in visitors, customers into the Marketplace, quite often, I'm guessing they would come into direct contact with those that have been part of the rehabilitation services there. How does the SVRC rehab services feed into the Marketplace?
So we have most of our janitorial staff. We hire in those types of individuals that work with us here inside the Marketplace. And we also have our clinics that offer, we have a little makeshift kind of apartment inside of our facility where they can actually come in and learn to do things on their own to prepare them. So we offer quite a bit here at the Marketplace. And I do cooking demonstrations with our CLS group, which is our community living group. So they come in once, twice, sometimes 3 times a month, and I do some cooking classes. So they have the opportunity to actually cook with me, create their own things, and, try their own creations. So very, very proud to be a part of the SVRC organization.
Well, I see that on the mission statement that one of the things that SVRC does is educate the public about barriers for persons with disabilities to employment and community access. What are some of those barriers?
Well, the Marketplace is located in a food desert. So when our CEO first was initially looking at, buildings to provide the community with something like the Marketplace, we had, this had been located into a in a food desert area, which then of course was the great opportunity for us to provide so much to the community, not just through, our community living programs, and that kind of thing, but also to provide a side for, fresh fruits, vegetables, and, different kinds of, like I said, global flavors and restaurants, and the opportunity for individuals to have a place where they could come here, get fresh, healthy food, and also dinner, lunch, whatever that may be. So providing a lot to the community, jobs, outsourcing, entrepreneur growth, so much we were able to provide for right here on the riverfront Saginaw.
Now, does the Marketplace currently have room for new vendors, or are you filled right up?
I'm proud to say that we are filled right up. I do have a waiting list. Like I said, we've been very, very lucky. When the restrictions kind of came off, it was like people were coming and contacting me about becoming a small business. And, becoming a small business can be very taxing, and it can be, it's very difficult if you don't have the guidance on exactly what you need to do. And we here at the Marketplace, one of my favorite parts of my jobs is I have the ability to offer this opportunity and guide people to become the small business that they want to be. And then, of course, there are small business side of the Marketplace We pay utilities, they pay their rent, and we provide so much opportunity here for the small businesses with the hopes that they are able to go and open up their own brick and mortar or, stay with us. When they open up their own brick and mortar, they leave us. And a lot of people ask, why is there so much transition in the marketplace? That's what we're intended to do. We're intended to take a small business, provide them the opportunity for that entrepreneurial growth. They go and get their own brick and mortar, which then opens up a space for another small business to have that opportunity. So the marketplace is ever changing. That's what we're designed to do.
So you're kind of helping give that helping hand up a bit.
We are, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's costly to start a small business. So, we provide organizations that can help with all of that. And then, of course, SVRC with, our very inexpensive rents that we have and covering a lot of the overhead costs that most small businesses have with their own brick and mortar.
Good stuff. And I need to get down there. Somehow I've been in this region for quite some time, and I haven't had lunch down there at the Marketplace, Saginaw Valley Resource Center. So one of these days we'll make that happen. Thank you for the behind the scenes look at what you're doing there and the difference that you're making in the community.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And we appreciate the small business support. Our small businesses need it now more than ever. So, make sure you go on our Facebook page, see what's happening. We just had our first Riverfront Car Show, which was a phenomenal success. We have OxICon coming up. It's going to be a Comic-Con on September 25th. So please make sure to follow us on Facebook and look at our events and come support our small businesses.
I think that one of the most attractive aspects of the Comic-Con idea from a viewing standpoint is just people watching. People get dressed up to go to those events. It's a very unique gathering for sure.
It is. So we look forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. Rachel, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is Rachel Trumbull from Saginaw Valley Resource Center Marketplace here on Focus.
So long, summer. Hello, $5,000. It's the send-off to summer every Saturday in August at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Each week from 5 to 9 p.m., you can win up to $750. Then at 10 p.m., we're giving away $5,000 cash. It's the best way to cruise into autumn. Send off to summer, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Such a fun app. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Powerball is now powered up. This gigantic jackpot game now has new double play, giving you a sizzling second drawing with a guaranteed top cash prize of $10 million after each Powerball draw. How about another jolt of fun? A third draw day to light up your week. Now Mondays too. That's double the chances to win 3 times a week. So plug into Powerball. We're talking big. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Good morning, everyone. Broadcasting today from the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center, where the Dry Bean and Sugar Beet Day is being held. Bean and Beet Tour started off at 9 o'clock this morning. They were looking at weed control, soil fertility, dry bean performance trials, and sugar beet advancement updates. All of that was covered this morning by experts. And then the MSU folks took over a couple of tours as we've moved through the morning, a sugar beet focus tour and a dry bean focus tour, as individuals have been riding the wagons, taking a look at the crops that have been grown here at the Research and Extension Center. Very interesting day. Even though it has been warm, the hottest part of the day is going to be later on. So it's a good thing that they covered all of this field activity a little bit earlier this morning. Lunch will be served, and folks will still have an opportunity to talk to some of the experts one-on-one as we go into the early afternoon. The Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center is where we're at. Our broadcast brought to you today by the folks at ACHC. Farm program coming up in a little bit.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
O'Reilly. Do you even remember the last time you changed your spark plugs? Well, then now's a good time. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase 4 or more select Iridium spark plugs. Put the pep back in your car. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Blossom Spa and Boutique. You can get a spa facial for only $35. It's normally $70. You are getting it half off. You can also get body contouring treatments for eliminating cellulite for only $250. It's normally $500. Once again, you are getting it half off. Don't miss out on these deals at Blossom Spa and Boutique. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
It's going to wrap us up for Focus today. I'll be back tomorrow morning filling in for Art Lewis here on WSGW. Stay tuned now for Terry Henney and the Farm Show as he continues from Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Center on Reese Road here on WSGW.
Why has Crane's L&M Appliance Center been serving the area for 65 years? Customer satisfaction. Hi, I'm Eric Crane.
And I'm Kelly Crane.
Here at Crane's L&M, you get knowledge